Nathan says, what service do you guys use to create new GMBs? Excuse me. We don't. We haven't for several months now because of it's become so much harder. And not only that, but GMBs have been getting terminated or suspended, especially if there's, if they're spammed listings. So we stopped selling them, and I stopped pursuing that method after, several, after the Google wrath, the GMB suspension rampage that they've been on. So, I mean, I only lost a handful of GMB assets, fortunately. Literally, I could count them on two hands how many I lost. But I stopped going after building new ones. That said, I know that we were having a discussion today about there's a possibility that we may be able to open that GMB verification service up with some disclaimers.
Yeah, that's under the debate, isn't it? Because we were saying
it's being debated because
yeah.
Don't count on, don't hold your breath, but there may be an opportunity within MGYB for a brief period of time to get some spam GMB listings. But here's my suggestion: don't do it. Right? If you can avoid getting spammed listings, avoid it. What I mean by that is if you want to create a fake GMB listing or for a lead gen site is what I mean, then I would recommend either using your home address, which I know you asked in your question there, or even using PO boxes still. It still is better because you can actually receive mail there, which I say PO boxes, you can't actually enter the PO box. You got to use the street address option. I've talked about that many times. So just if you haven't heard about it, just go to our Semantic Mastery YouTube channel, use the search channel function and ask, type in PO boxes for GMBs or something like that. And it'll show you all the videos where I've talked about that. But you can use a street address option and that still works. It doesn't mean that they can't be suspended, but it still works for the most part. I know because I've got many of them out there. I did lose a couple of them over the last several months, but I still have most of them. So you can do that. But somewhere where I would recommend that you can actually receive mail as opposed to getting a spam listing, because those tend to get suspended with like a blink of an eye now if you're doing anything to optimize the actual profile once it's been verified. So I recommend just kind of not doing that. So what's the alternative? Well, organic stuff, or if you have the ability to create create a listing where you can actually verify it by US mail, by postcard essentially, then you try to expand that as much as you can using like our local GMB Pro method, which is how you can get better results from a specific GMB than trying to get a bunch of new GMBs. If that makes that what we were talking about for a period of time there, when we were for probably a good year, we were able to just go get GMBs pretty much anywhere we wanted. And so that was the strategy, was to go out and create as many GMBs as we could in a specific service area, for example. But again, that's not the recommended practice anymore. So Marco, do you have any comments for that?
Yeah, I would say risk versus reward. If you're willing to take the risk and the reward is there, then by all means get a spam listing. It's going to be, it's pretty simple, right? You just purchase it from us. Well, the problem that I'm having is that I can't guarantee anything past 30 days. We used to be able to guarantee 90 days. If anything happened, we'd replace it. But after 30 days, that's it, we're done. We can't guarantee anything past that. So you're on your own. So if on day 31, your listing gets suspended, it's not our, we can't be held responsible for it. We won't. We're going to have that disclaimer all over if we decide to offer it. Risk versus reward. I mean, if you decide to get 1,000 of them, 500 get suspended, but 500 make you money, then it's totally worth it. You decide what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, I just hate rework. I hate putting work into something and then it gets suspended and you lose all that work. And so I've stopped doing any lead gen like spam sites, spam GMB listings for months now because of that. So what Marco said is true, risk versus reward.